If I were to mention to you the names of a few people, you would immediately know for what they are famous. Thomas Edison, Reggie Jackson, Steve Jobs, J.K. Rowling, and Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, they're all famous for amazing accomplishments, but they weren't born successful. In fact, they were all very unsuccessful before they hit it big. Thomas Edison famously tried 1,000 times to invent the light bulb, and it wasn't until 1001 that he was successful. When asked how he felt about failing 1,000 times, Edison replied, "I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was just an invention with 1,000 steps." Abraham Lincoln became one of the most famous presidents in our nation's history. Yet he lost the presidential election of 1856 after suffering a nervous breakdown a few years prior and even having a business fail. What Lincoln did succeed at was continuing towards his goals. J.K. Rowling has written 11 books and produced many more movies based on a character that generations of kids know as Harry Potter. Prior to the publishing of the first Harry Potter book, J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 separate publishers. She had just gone through a divorce, lost her job, and was just shy of homeless, right before one publisher called and optioned her first novel. Steve Jobs, who we all know as the founder of Apple, was also fired from his own company, thanks to a string of failed product launches, including the Newton, think Palm Pilot, in the late 80s. Not knowing what he would do next, Steve Jobs began two different ventures, with Next and Pixar, that would eventually lead him back to the head of Apple in 1995. Just a short time later, Apple exploded onto the market with the iPod, iPhone, iPad, MacBook, and their profits shot to the moon. Reggie Jackson, Mr. October. Over the course of his 21-season career, Reggie Jackson gained the nickname due to his clutch hitting in the postseason during the time with the Yankees and the Athletics. It was that hitting that earned him that place in the Hall of Fame. But Reggie also leads another stat line in baseball: most strikeouts. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,597 times, more than any other baseball player in history. In today's gospel, we hear the familiar story of the lost sheep. Leaving the 99, the good shepherd goes out after one to return them to the flock. Well, the reading does tend to reassure us that if we stray from the path, Jesus will be there to bring us back. It also speaks towards our call to act towards Christians. As we recently passed Thanksgiving, I would venture to say the phrase, "Our country needs Jesus," was heard in some of your households. And while that is true, it's often that statement that also goes nowhere. But what today's gospel is telling us is that we are supposed to be the ones going out after that lost sheep too. How are we responding to others that have fallen away from their faith? For those in which faith is not important? And how are we living our faith with our lives and not just our words? We can talk about faith all we want, or repeat platitudes like "our nation needs Jesus" all we want. But unless we are that Jesus, those are just words. As St. Anthony of Padua tells us, let your words teach and your actions speak. Yes, we're going to fail on our faith journey. We're going to fail in leading others on their faith journey. But use the Good Shepherd as your guide. He didn't give up on that one sheep. He went out after it and brought it back into the fold.